Hey everyone, welcome back. So the Dance Parade New York is back on the streets of NYC. Woo! All right, so the world's only parade to exclusively celebrate and showcase the diversity of dance and celebrate the eclectic dance styles from around the world, featuring over 10,000 dancers and presenting more than 100 unique styles of dance is back. And now, in their 16th year, their mission, of course, is to continue to promote dance as an expressive and unifying art form, educating the general public about the opportunities to experience dance while celebrating diversity of dance in New York City. And here to share more details about this year's parade activities is Dance Parade NYC Executive Director Greg Miller. Hey.
Hi, Rhina. How you doing?
Oh, hopefully this will be the last time that I'm interviewing you in a box. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I'm very excited for you guys because you're heading back into the street. We will be heading back in studio very soon. But in the meantime, I'm really looking forward to hearing all this exciting preparations that have been going into effect, preparing to be on the street of New York.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy a couple of years ago. We were all set to do our virtual parade and our live parade, and the pandemic happened, so we had to switch over and learn how to do these shows in boxes.
Yeah, and I gotta say though, y'all did a really great job of being innovative and improvising. I mean, you did some pretty crafty stuff. So I do want to acknowledge you for that. But there's nothing like being in person. Nothing.
We had some help. We kind of copied the Easter bonnet parade. We sent over our production team to help out, seeing how do you use this thing called Zoom? It was brand new for us. But we learned how to spotlight, thousands of people and just, to highlight them, and we tried new things, having dance battles, for example. We're not usually competitive, but we would get everybody on the screen, dancing, and then we had a system where you could actually, the audience could poll and choose their favorites. So that
And so
worked out.
I wanted to ask, wait, before you even continue, because you went so global, right? And even though the dance parade in its essence is global, it's different because, having gone virtual, you were actually communicating with the rest of the world. How's that going to work this year?
So this year we would have loved to try the hybrid model, but we're just focusing on actually getting back to the streets, which is our theme. It's a lot to, consider. Okay, it is still kind of COVID land. We have to, be careful about how we, work with people. But then just to have people dance again in the streets, to get to see who's out there. Are there dance companies that just went away because of the pandemic? New York is expensive to live, and people have sometimes moved away, and their dance groups, they couldn't rehearse. So a lot of people have moved on. So we had to really, pull people back, including our team. But there's an incredible energy right now to really, have that live experience. And we think, this is going to help heal from the pandemic, just being reconnected again and really celebrating the live performance. I think we believe that, the communal human experience is uplifted, and we can help create a more vibrant, equitable society when we have all these different forms dancing together.
I know, and that's one of the things I've always admired about the parade the most is like it is in its true essence diverse, not only in culture, in dance styles, in individuals, and the experience is communal. Perfect word, because everybody's just really celebrating together without looking at anything else.
And that's kind of, how we program it, is to really look at, what's missing, and we didn't have an Irish group, so we found an Irish group. We didn't have, that many hip hop groups, so we got them. And Ukrainians, we were like, we really got to honor that. We did that in 2014 during the Crimea crisis. And so we just last minute found this beautiful group. We learned that the Ukrainian festival in the East Village is actually the same weekend as Dance Parade, the 21st. But they're not dancing because of the war, and they're like, our hearts are broken, so we can't really celebrate through dance. And then they recommended someone to me, and they turned out to have 300 Ukrainian students, all in these incredible costumes from different regions of Ukraine, and they're gonna start the parade and bring us back to the streets. So it's so exciting, to
And so
partake.
monumental and so deliberate too, right? Because in dancing, really, they're sending out that good vibrational energy. Although it's an unfortunate circumstances in which they're going to be dancing under, that we hope ends sooner than later. But that's beautiful. That's beautiful that you're able to open up with them and honor what we're all dealing with, because even though they're over there, we're still affected by it. So I also wanted to make note of our this year's marshals and how were they chosen. I know you have Eduardo Vilaro, who is a dear friend of mine from Ballet Hispanico, and I know you also have Heidi Latsky, and you also have Rich Medina, DJ Rich Medina, who I also know. So how do you choose your grand marshals?
It is a process. We really focus on what is a diverse way to present dance and culture. And we had a contact at Ballet Hispanico, and during the pandemic, there was something called the Band Concert, BAAND, and it was Band Together for the Arts. And the first live performance in the city happened at Lincoln Center, and it was presented there with Ballet Hispanico, Dance Theater of Harlem, Alvin Ailey, New York City Ballet, and one more that's not coming to mind. But they basically represent the dance in New York City, and they have never had the chance to come together. It was only because of the pandemic they're all in the same city at the same time. And so it was at that concert that someone said, oh, Ballet Hispanico would have a great grand marshal. We just had Virginia Johnson from Dance Theater of Harlem in the virtual event. We actually had her in a film called The Resilience of Dance Through the Pandemic. And we went around seeing what was going on during the pandemic. How are these dance companies surviving? Not many could do a concert like the big ones at Lincoln Center, and they were doing it. They were coming out and dancing on their rooftops.
I think I saw that film. Was Michaela Malazzi involved in that from Dare
was
Me?
Michaela, yeah.
Yeah.
She we asked her, can you help us do a live parade, for TV, to make it look like a parade, kind of like the Macy's Day Parade. And we tried. We asked everybody we knew in TV, let's see if we can do this and just get all the dancers there and make it look like a parade. That didn't work. The pandemic was scary. People were
I know.
affected. Yeah.
And we're still kind of sort of dealing with it, but it's really a matter of like navigating, hopefully towards the end of it. At least that's what I'm putting out there, because I think it's so important for us to come back together. But I also understand that we have to be precautious.
Yeah. So that was actually the theme last year. Dance brings us together, and we had this idea for the TV thing, and it turned out to be a film that we entered in the Emmy Awards. So we're going to find out in June.
Before we go, I just want to share with our viewers what May 21st looks like. The start point, the time. I know there's an after party. Is that still happening?
It sure is. We start the day off at noon, so we're rolling back an hour to our usual start time, and that's at 20th and Broadway. Mayor Eric Adams will be there. The first time we've had the mayor at the parade, and
Nice.
he'll be helping to cut the ribbon at noon. It'll go down Broadway through Union Square and across 8th Street, St. Mark's, through our grandstands. We're having two actual sets of bleacher grandstands, and that's in Astor Place. And then it ends at Tompkins Square Park in the East Village, where the Dance Fest begins. And that is kind of the best of, and you have all these opportunities to learn styles of dance, to do a dance party. We're going to wheel in the pirate ship that we have in the parade, and that'll be like the DJ console for DJ Rich Medina. There's 8 different styles of dance offered that everybody can learn. And there's a break dancing competition.
Nice.
Yeah, it's being brought on by USA Breaking. And did you know, Rhina, that the breakdancing is going to be in the Olympics in 2020?
Yeah, I heard.
So we get to actually have the qualifier, the person who goes to the Olympics from New York, will be the winner of this dance competition. So
Oh, wow.
that is the schedule of the festival. Then we'll go on to the after party at New Blue, which is just a couple blocks away.
Thank you, Greg Miller, Executive Director of Dance Parade NYC. And you guys, once again, the Dance Parade NYC is taking place Saturday, May 21st, beginning at noon, starting at 20th Street and Broadway. If you're interested in more information, you can visit danceparade.org. All right, stay tuned because Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup is coming up next.